Everyone. So this morning we will have our debate for the topic, reciting the best way to save Mother Earth. So we have here our group of judges in the name of Ma'am Delarmenti, Ma'am Okinlay, and Ma'am Dr. Coraya, our assistant secondary school principal 2. We have two sides from the affirmative sides, and then we have the negative sides. So each of you will be given not more than 3 minutes to talk. Then after which, we will have our reactor at the back. Okay, to start with, we will have the affirmative group first.
Recycling is important. Recycling is one of the best ways for you to have a positive impact on world in which we live. Recycling is important to both the natural environment and us. We must act fast as the amount of waste we create is increasing all the time.
But, recycling has a lot of negative effects about plastics because most plastics can't be recycled. Example, there are about 7 types of plastic that you'll find in day life, and only 2 of them are recyclable. Anything else placed in a recycle bin will be collected, processed, and sorted, and then thrown straight into a landfill. And even trying to recycle some things. For example, the plastic that electronics are packaged in. Waste are all processes far from perfect. As a result, some plastic can slip through even when they're not supposed to. And you might end up with chemicals like BPA in plastics that aren't supposed to have it. So in a weird way, recycling can make you flat.
By not recycling, we are destroying habitat. Nothing lasts forever, including our environment. All of the trees being cut down to make items are not growing at a rate fast enough to replenish what we've taken.
By the way, do you know what are the negative effects of recycling? The process of recycling many different products leads to the development of methane gas, while many recycling plants contain the methane. When it leaks, methane can deplete the ozone layer and contribute to global warming, as it is a greenhouse gas. Maintaining and operating recycling equipment is extremely expensive, and having an entire network of factories processing recycling leads to additional pollution.
Recycling is very important as waste has a huge negative impact on the natural environment. Harmful chemicals and greenhouse gases are released from rubbish and landfill sites. Recycling helps to reduce the pollution caused by waste.
If is that so, why do you have to recycle if you can reduce it? It can also help us to reduce our waste.
So what will you do to reduce your waste?
Then you have to use again those materials that can use this, and you don't have to recycle it. But when you recycle, you have to use something, or you have to have new things by another things by it. So why do you have to if you can have to reduce?
Recycling is important because it reduces your waste. If you can reduce your waste, there are many possibilities that will cause a pollution.
No. If you think that recycling is the best way to save Mother Earth, you're perfectly wrong. Do you know why? Of course you don't. So let me explain to you why. When you recycle, of course you need a machine for recycling. And this machine will absolutely need electricity to work. And using higher amount of electricity can cause the end of the world. Because coal and natural gas is the common source of energy that gets turned into electricity. And the burning of these substances is the major factor of the world air pollution. And air pollution is one of the biggest problems for Mother Earth. It means the more you recycle, the bigger the chance that you can end our Mother Earth. So would you still say that recycle is the best way to save Mother Earth?
Did you know that recycling reduces greenhouse gas emission? When you recycle products, you tend to save energy which results in less greenhouse emission. Greenhouse gases are primarily responsible for increase in global warming. It helps to reduce air and water pollution by cutting down the number of pollutants that are released into the environment. A recycling rate of 30% can also almost equivalent of removing 30 million cars from the roads.
Do you know what is the disadvantage of recycling? I tell you this, recycling is not always cost effective. Sometimes there may be a need to establish separate factories to process reusable products. This may create more pollution as they would go under the process of cleaning, storage, and transportation. Number 2, recycling sites are often unsafe and hygienic. Places where all sorts of waste is dumped are conducive for debris formation and spread of disease and other dangers caused by harmful chemicals and waste.
We should recycle to make our environment clean, conservation of materials to save energy and to reduce garbage in landfills.
Wait, let me continue about the negative effect, and now is about the oil refining. Obvious that oil is a pretty major pollutant. Just look at any ocean spill from a capsized oil tanker. So it makes sense to try to recycle used oil back into something useful. But more often than not, recycling creates even more toxic chemicals in the process. Most small-scale oil treatment centers use something known as the acid clay process. This gets impurities out of the oil, but leaves you with a toxic sludge containing all of those impurities, plus dangerous chemicals like hydrochloric acid. So what do they do with the toxic waste? They burn it, sending chemicals like nitric oxide and sulfur dioxide into the air. And that's pretty much the official method, even though it's about as effective at fighting pollution as saving a person from drowning by throwing them in a lake.
We, we should we should plant trees to prevent air pollution, and the greenhouse effect will be reduced, and we can use a hydroelectric power plant to save coal and natural resources. And why should we use plantation if it can reduce air pollution?
But you're in the side of the positive side that recycling is the best way to save Mother Earth. But why are you saying that you're going to plant trees to prevent carbon dioxide, but you're in the side of the best way to save Mother Earth? So why?
Save the world by recycling. It has become increasingly apparent that human beings must make some major changes in order to reverse some of the damage they have done to the environment. Recycling is one of the best examples of an effort that can have a very positive impact on the fate of the planet.
Of course. Of course, I still disagree that recycling is the best way to save Mother Earth. You didn't answer my questions. Because it would be better if we people will use pure chemical and stop throwing plastics anywhere to reduce the pollution of our Mother Earth, and especially the soil pollution. And when the soil is surely not polluted, we can suggest to the city or country officials to assign every public school to have a tree planting activity for everyone a year. And do you know that this tree planting activity can play a bigger part to save the Mother Earth than recycling? I think you don't know that because you agree that recycling is the best way to save Mother Earth. So let me explain to you why is that our side can say that tree planting activity is better way than recycling to save Mother Earth. Are you familiar with the word carbon dioxide?
Yes.
Yes.
And did you know that this carbon dioxide is one of the reasons why our ozone layer is in danger, and once the ozone layer got destroyed, it can be the biggest problem of our Mother Earth, and it can also be the cause of the end of the world. But replanting activity can allow us to plant more trees, and trees or plants absorb carbon dioxide, so it means that tree planting activity can help us to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the earth, and it can also save the ozone layer. I forgot to tell you that the bigger the tree, the higher the amount of carbon dioxide it can absorb. And the higher the amount of trees in the earth, the higher the amount of carbon dioxide will be reduced in the planet. And also tree planting activity can help us plant more trees. So it means that this tree planting activity can help to ensure the safety of the ozone layer, and it can also reduce the problems of our Mother Earth.
Because Byron said that recycling have a negative effect. He said that it can produce greenhouse effect. That's the reason I said that I will not waste. But what if you will not recycle? The plant will not grow it. It will not grow. The soil is polluted because the soil is polluted.
Whatever you gonna say, recycling cannot save Mother Earth because even when you will recycle all day long, you can prevent other manufacturers to use raw material from nature. So you can say that only recycling can save Mother Earth.
So Adrian, so you will just plant trees. But if the soil is polluted, where will you plant this? In the air?
That's why I tell you that it will be better if we people use pure chemicals and stop throwing garbage everywhere. So the soil will be the soil pollution will be reduced, and the trees will surely grow if the soil is not polluted.
So what will you do to the plastics that you eat?
Then you're asking me that what will we gonna do the plastic that we keep. So how about you? What will you gonna do? You're in the side that recycling is the best way to save Mother Earth, but why are you saying such a word that is not related to your side? Why are you asking me a lot of questions even if you can't answer my questions? But first, please answer my questions first before you ask me questions.
Recycling reduces the size of animals. One of the biggest reasons why recycling has been promoted is that it does reduce the strain on our environment. By utilizing waste products in a constructive way, we can slowly decrease the size of our landfill. As the population grows, it will become difficult for the landfill to hold so much and trash. When this happens, our cities and beautiful landscape will face pollution, poisoning, and many health problems. The benefits of recycling are that it keeps the pollution in check and decrease in landfill violence.
When recycling facilities have poor management, the hygiene of the area can suffer as a result. Recycling dumpsters that have been abandoned sometimes have toxins remaining from recyclables, and the toxins have the potential to enter the groundwater or the air as a pollutant. Many people believe that because recycling is available, using plastic water bottle is acceptable, even though it is possible to recycle plastic. It is even better for the environment to have a reusable bottle as then the pollution that flows in the recycling does not become a necessity.
Recycling is important in today's world if we want to leave this planet for our future generations. It is good for the environment since we are making new products from the old products which are of no use to us. Recycling begins at home. If you are throwing away any of your old product instead of utilizing it for something, then you are actually recycling.
No. Do you know why we can say that planting trees is better than recycling? Because we have some good benefit of tree planting activities. Trees create ecosystems to provide habitat and food to birds and other animals. Trees absorb carbon dioxide and potentially harmful gases such as sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide from the air, and release oxygen.
So what will you do if the soil is polluted? Where will you plant trees?
I think. Why are you always asking us that question? I already answered that it would be better if we people use fewer chemicals and stop throwing garbage everywhere so the air pollution will be reduced. And once the air, I mean soil pollution. And once the soil pollution got reduced, so we can plant more trees everywhere and the trees will surely grow.
So trees can clean your waste.
Of course, because trees absorbs carbon dioxide. But I didn't say that trees can clean our waste. But I'm saying is that tree planting activity can also a big better way than recycling to save Mother Earth because trees can absorb carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide is like what I tell you a while ago. Carbon dioxide is one of the biggest reason why our ozone layer is suffering right now. And once the ozone layer got destroyed, it will close to the end of the world. So,
Do trees have hands to pick your garbages? Tell me.
I didn't say that trees can pick our garbages. Why are you asking me that? I didn't say that. Did you hear some that we didn't hear?
You said trees can clean your waste. Tell me.
I didn't say that trees can clean our waste. What I'm saying is that trees can absorb carbon dioxide. And this carbon dioxide, I'm just repeating myself. This carbon dioxide is one of the reasons why our ozone layer is suffering right now. And once the ozone layer got destroyed, it will cause the end of the world.
Then what will you do to the waste that you make? Tell me.
Then how about you? What will you do?
I will recycle it.
But recycling needs a machine, like what I tell you. And this machine will absolutely need electricity to work. And coal and natural gases is the common sources that of electricity, of energy that gets stored into electricity. And the burning of these substances is one of the major factors of our world's air pollution. So
When you think recycling, you should really think about the whole idea. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Think about it. If you don't need it, don't get it. If you do, to get it.
machine. Are you going to recycle using only your bare hands? Is that what you gonna do?
Yes.
And even make it worse because recycling without a machine cannot eliminate the bacteria from the thing that you are recycling clearly. And the bacteria from the thing that you recycle will be more worse if you keep on recycling without a machine. Because only machine can clean it clearly. And the bacteria can become into a virus. Maybe a virus that is more worse than Ebola virus. And the virus that you created by recycling without using a machine can kill all the people in the earth. So, is that what you want? Saving our Mother Earth by sacrificing all the people who live here?
Okay. Thank you, Adrian. We will have our final statement from the affirmative side. Shall we have one more? Affirmative. Okay, so affirmative, nothing to say anymore. Shall we call on the reactant now? We will have 3 reactants at the back. Can we call them? Anybody?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Angela Agustin. Recycling. No. Recycling has a advantages and disadvantages. Um, the advantage, the disadvantage is recycling is very important as waste has a huge negative impact on the natural environment. Harmful chemicals and greenhouse gases are released from rubbish and landfill sites. While the advantage is recycling helps to reduce the pollution caused by waste. Recycling reduces the need for a raw materials so that the rainforest can be preserved. Recycling is important in today's world if we want to leave this planet for our future generations. It is good for the environment since we are making new products from the old products which are of no use to us. Recycling begins at home. If you're not throwing away any of your old product and instead utilizing it for something new when you are actually recycling. When you think of recycling, you should really think about the whole idea. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. We've been careless up to this point with the way we've treated the earth, and it's time to change. Not just the way we do things, but the way we think. Thank you, and once again, good morning.
Thank you.
Okay, so shall we have the next reactor?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Edelweiss Garcia, and I just want to say garbage disposal is one of our major problems in our country. Many people don't care about it. They don't mind what might be the effect in our environment. They just throw their trash everywhere, not in proper places. What is the solution for this? We must have a self-discipline. We have to love and care for our Mother Earth. Waste management can help to preserve our environment. What is the best way to save our environment? The best way to save our environment is to recycle. We can prevent pollution too by planting trees, taking care to our environment, and etc. In fact, there are simple ways to save our Earth. Recycling is one of the best ways to support and love Mother Earth. Me, you, us. We can change the world. We can save this marvelous creation of our Almighty Father. But what are we doing after all? We are doing things that other way around. Our helping hands are being replaced by destructive and violent hands responsible for the continuous destruction of the earth and responsible for the wrath we are experiencing from it. Climate change is clearly seen and felt in these times. The Earth's condition is getting worse as man aims to discover more from it. As man dreams to do easier things from it. It takes sacrifice, it takes will and passion. It is not simply for ourselves, but for the good of everything God has created. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, gang. We will have the last reactor for this debate.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Justin Rose Yaco. Forward. This planet is running out of space. It's time to learn the 3 R's of the environment. It's time to put the 3 R's in place. The environment is everything around you, and it's significantly needed for the survival and existence of the humankind. And once destroyed, no one can turn it back. We have to nurture the earth like our mother, because we will never like it once she gets mad. There are many ways on how to mitigate different and cumulative issues and concerns our generation is facing and the future generation might encounter pertinent to our nature. Out of the million ways, one easy way to somehow save it is that 3 R's, which stand for reuse, reduce, and recycle. It seems not arduous, but requires discipline and supervision of many, because we
are all accountable to each other. The earth is limited and many resources are not renewable. It is subject to adverse changes due to negligence and abuse of the people. One of the harmful products of the human beings are the non-biodegradable that cannot be dissolved in a short span of time.
Oh my.
Okay. Thank you, children. Thank you for your brilliant ideas. Thank you, reactors. And I would like to say thank you also for our judges. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sparing your time with us this morning.